Hey there, and welcome back. Can you believe it? Today is day 7. Just take a second and let that sink in. A whole week. That's 7 days of showing up for yourself, of choosing rest, of really starting to believe that better sleep is possible for you. You've officially hit your very first milestone. How cool is that? You know, this quote just says it all. You made it. That's not nothing. That's everything. I really want you to take a moment and feel that, because 7 days of commitment, that is a huge deal. It's not a small thing at all. In fact, it's the foundation for everything we're going to build from here. So, because it's day 7, we're going to do things a little differently today. We're not learning a new trick or adding another thing to your to-do list. Instead, we're doing something that might just be even more important. We're pausing. We're going to take a beat and actually notice what's already starting to shift. Because, real change, it can be so quiet sometimes that if we don't stop and look for it, we can miss it completely. All right, so let's talk about this first milestone. I want you to think of this past week less like a test and more like you've been a detective. You haven't just been trying to sleep, you've been collecting some seriously valuable information about yourself. But you might be thinking, okay, but why? Why is reflecting so important? Why should I stop when I'm just getting started? And that's a totally fair question. The answer is pretty simple, actually. It's because looking back is exactly how we get the fuel to move forward in the right direction. So why does pausing matter so much? Well, like I said, you've basically been gathering data for the last 7 days. But, and this is important, we're not talking about cold, hard numbers on a spreadsheet. No way. Think of it more like you've been collecting clues, little breadcrumbs that lead you to understanding your body's own unique rhythms and patterns. And listen, there is one non-negotiable, super important rule for this whole process. Reflection is about recognition, not judgment. This is absolutely not a performance review. We're not grading you. It's just a chance to see what's working and honestly, to give your brain a little, hey, good job, moment of encouragement. Okay, so what kind of clues are we even talking about here? What should you be looking for? Well, they can be super, super small. Seriously, think about it. Are you maybe falling asleep just like 3 minutes faster than you were on day 1? Or what about waking up 2 times in the night instead of 4? Or maybe, and I really want you to hear this because it counts just as much, maybe you just feel a tiny bit less anxious when you think about bedtime. All of those are real tangible wins. And this brings us to something that is so critical to remember. Sleep improvement isn't linear. Some nights will feel like magic, others will feel frustrating. It's so true, right? Progress is never ever a straight line. So if you had a tough night this week, that doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't erase all your hard work. It's just part of the process. It's part of the journey. So think of it this way. Your patterns are your roadmap. When you start to spot these things, the good stuff and the tricky stuff, you're not judging yourself. You're just drawing a map. You're learning what your body is asking for and maybe what areas need a little more support. Okay, so we've covered the why. We get it. Pausing is important. So now let's get practical and talk about how. How do we actually do this in a way that's kind and, actually helpful? And yep, I'm going to say it again just because it's that important. There are absolutely no performance reviews allowed here. This is a judgment-free zone. Your only job right now is to look back with some kindness, some gentle eyes, and a whole lot of curiosity. So here's a super simple 4-step guide to do this. Number 1, notice the small stuff. Did you remember to dim the lights even twice this week? Awesome. That's a win. You're building a new habit. 2, get curious. Pull out that sleep diary. What's it telling you? Maybe you sleep a bit better on the nights you skip that 4 p.m. coffee. Interesting. 3, celebrate your effort, not perfection. Seriously, you get a gold star just for trying. And finally, number 4, name one thing, just one, that felt good this week. That's your anchor. That's what you're going to carry with you into week 2. And just like that, you're ready. You've done the work. This little pause, this moment of reflection, it's the perfect launch pad for everything that's coming next. You are heading into the next phase of this journey with so much more information and self-awareness than you had just 7 days ago. And before we even talk about what's next, I really, really want you to take this in. You've already done the hardest part. The absolute hardest part of any big change is just getting started. And you did that. You already climbed that first huge mountain. So what's next? What's on deck for week 2? Well, tomorrow, we start to go a little bit deeper. We're going to start teaching your brain a really simple but incredibly powerful idea that your bed means sleep and only sleep. Trust me, it is a total game changer. And after this week of building such a solid foundation, you are absolutely ready for it. But that's tomorrow. For tonight, your only homework, your only assignment is to just feel proud. You committed to something big for yourself and you followed through for a whole week. So tonight, let that feeling of accomplishment be your guide. Let it ease you into a peaceful night's rest. Rest well, you have absolutely 100% earned it.